You are listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to the Cult of Campbell versus Ash versus Evil Dead. I'm Ty.
I'm Eursa.
And today we're looking at episode 6, The Killer of Killers. And what an episode it is. So, it is directed by Michael Hurst. This is the first episode he's directed. He is an alumni from Hercules and Xena. And I am ready to get into this. This is a jam-packed episode.
I really enjoyed this episode.
This is 23 minutes of just pure awesomeness. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Let's get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the Cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
So we pick up right after, we pick up with Ruby and Amanda arriving at the Brujo's little compound. And we find out that they're not only like trailing Ash and the gang, they're literally like 2 steps behind them.
Yeah, they could see them.
Yeah,
on the road.
And I don't understand why they don't just go after them. Like they pull up and they see everything at the Brujo, and then Amanda like looks out and you just see the car driving off. Like I don't see why they didn't. Just hop in the car and drive off.
I think at that point Ruby was inside.
Oh yeah, they already split up.
She thought the goat was Ash.
Yeah, they already split up. There's some weird stuff like as Ruby's going through the house, Amanda's outside looking around. We see that the evil presence POV. But while Ruby's in the house, there's a ghostly figure that pops up like behind her, like it's some kind of like Grim Reaper looking thing.
Right, yeah.
It like pops up behind her, she turns, it goes away, we never see it again. But the evil hits the burn pile where the Brujo has been laid to rest and possesses the Brujo's skeleton. It comes after Amanda, just as Ruby comes out to save the day. Again. And we get some dialogue from the skeleton where it says that Ruby is a double crosser. So we're laying some groundwork there. So we think, because it grabs on a Ruby, they tussle around, they jump into the flaming pile, and it explodes.
The others will never let you have the book to yourself.
Yes. So we're laying some groundwork for her, but she like explodes.
Yeah, it's like it's a portal to hell or some other dimension or something like that.
That makes sense. Makes sense. And Amanda really doesn't give 2 shits.
Yeah, she just like
she like no sells it. Jumps in the car. We see that the Ash's hand has vanished, and she just brushes that off too. She's got shit to do.
Wow. I mean, you gotta catch your man,
Yeah, she speeds off, and like I said, she's only like 5 minutes behind Ash and them. Like she really is.
God, they stopped for pancakes.
Yeah. We cut to the Western Moose, which is a fine little breakfast eatery, little roadside diner, and the gang is enjoying some pancakes. And we're introduced to a new character, Lim, who is just an old friend of Ash, who just happens to be in the same area and recognizes him.
Who looks like basically just the most cliche right-wing redneck militia member.
Yeah, we find out he's 9 days
He's
clean.
probably dabbled in meth at one point.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's 9 days sober. He's 9 days sober. He's really cleaning up his act. He's joined a militia, which he's
Always be stockpiling.
Always be stockpiling. Their quota, always be stockpiling. And he tells Ash, hey, you need to come out to my compound and check out these new toys I got. And he says he might take it up. Finds out where it is, which I imagine will come into play later. But before all that, we get some a little moment of levity between the gang as Ash tells him like they're going to be going back to the cabin, the Evil Dead cabin. And he does not want Pablo and Kelly to go with him.
So I can't blame him. All the stuff went through there before.
Everyone that Ash has ever known or loved has died in that cabin, basically.
Slowly and like one by one.
Yeah, he usually has to kill him at some. He usually has to, and that's what he tells him. If like he has a cabin, he possess and want to behead you. It's not going to be good for anybody. But they're adamant. Like, we're going with you. Like, We're not letting you do this alone.
Yeah, we've been in this fight with you for this long. I mean, why would we just, the cabin? We won't go with you till the end.
Exactly. But first, it's time to settle up on the pancakes. The bills due. Ash they tell him, like, no, you said he was going to buy this, which he denies, but he tells him to go out to the trailer, and he's going to take care of the bill. And we get some Pablo and Kelly one-on-one time. Pablo lets her know, like, hey, when you're possessed, you were, like, in full-on bone mode. You were wanting to bang me. And unfortunately, we find out that Pablo's in the friend zone.
Poor Pablo gets friend zoned.
Yeah. Kelly tells him, you're too sweet.
It's very rare to make it out of the friend zone.
You're too sweet. You're too innocent. And that's where we get some interesting stuff between the necklace. The Brujo's necklace and the Necronomicon do not like each other.
Not at all. Like, they're pulled toward each other.
And the Necronomicon, we see it just like, it's snapping. It's trying to get a hold of the necklace. And they're just going at each other like two dogs. So they have to throw the Necronomicon in the locker, lock it up. All the while, Ash is swooning the waitress, Nancy.
Trying to string her racket.
Yeah. Tells a very, very long, drawn story about stringing rackets and how,
It'll be at least double $22.89.
Yeah. If he just goes to the restroom with him for a few minutes, she'll be taken care of. But we see Amanda is right there. She's on their heels. She sees it all. She calls I guess one of her detective friends.
I think it was like her boss.
Yeah, her boss. She tells him, like, hey, I got these guys. I got Ash. Come and get him. And he agrees to come and get him. Like, he believes her. So Ash goes into the bathroom, I believe, right?
Which was like life hack cologne. I gotta give that a shot.
I've never seen that. So yeah, he decides he sees he checks and he's not smelling so great. So he grabs a handful of mints and goes into the bathroom.
They're like the cinnamon mints.
Yeah. And he like crushes them into powder, puts them in the sink water, and then splashes that on.
It might work.
It might work. I mean, you can't knock it till you tried it. I mean, might be a cool little Ash life hack. I don't know.
Somebody give that a shot. Let us know.
I'm curious. I'm curious if that gets any action. But he's in there. We see that the evil POV shot is just racing toward the diner. He's waiting in the cabin. He's waiting in the bathroom, ready for Nancy to show up. But instead, Amanda Fischer shows up, and they have a little tussle in the bathroom.
They get in a little scuffle, and Ash gets his head knocked into the bathroom trough, which is it's always a classy place when you know
always a classy place. Yeah, it's always a class. I hate using troughs. It's never a fun time. Who wants to use a trough? Like what?
When I was in Berlin, and like the restrooms were unisex restrooms, and they had a trough, and it was like a gutter. It wasn't like a proper trough. It was like a gutter with the water running through it constantly.
Yikes!
Just people, just walking by, looking at your dick.
There's a bar I go to in Columbus. It's called AWOL, and their bathroom is basically one room, no stalls, nothing, and it's just drains on the floor.
Interesting.
Yeah. And the whole bathroom's open. Like, you can see it from the bar.
Huh.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like a place I'd want to hang out.
It's a very, it's not a great place to go. I've only been there a couple of times, so I never use the restroom I'm there. But you're very aware when someone else uses the restroom.
What if somebody has to take a shit?
I don't know if there are toilets in there. I know like the bathroom is just like, it's basically like a little like a pin, like a little
just
like
shit on the grate and spray it down.
I know it's weird though. I've never used the restroom there, but it's a very it's a hole in the wall kind of place. Enough about bathrooms. So Amanda apprehends Ash, takes him out, and that's just when her boss shows up. And there's a great little bit where he holds up the picture of Ash, a little sketch of Ash, and Ash like makes the same face as in the picture as it's held side by side, and it's like an identical match. It's like an identical match. And it's about this time that they're taking him away, and he tells them like, "No, you can't take me away. I'm the only one that can fight it." And then we see that everything starts shaking, and the evil just comes rushing in. There's two ice skaters out front.
Yeah, I think they're like high school ice skaters.
Yeah, high school ice skaters just hanging out front. It propels them through the window where it just kills them immediately.
Well, it fucks up like half the people.
Oh, it kills everyone. Yeah. The cook gets a a brick or some shit to the forehead. The two ice skaters get their ice blades in their head. There's some other people that just get thrown around. And Amanda's boss is now a deadite. And he decides he's going to square off with Ash. And Amanda, to her credit, she actually helps Ash. We get to see her actually like.
She hasn't got that aim for the head thing yet, though.
No, she doesn't have that. She just caps him in the stomach a few times, but then gets her ass beat for a little bit. All the while, Nancy, we found out she's a deadite as well. She takes on Ash, and then in comes Pablo and Kelly. Oh, but first we get the best kill of the episode, probably the best kill of the show so far. This little kid I was shocked as hell about this. There's a little kid in the bathroom like the whole time when like Amanda and Ash are fighting, and he decides, when shit starts going crazy, he runs out, and Amanda's boss just like grabs him and chucks him into the ceiling fan, just like impales him on the blades.
New member to my fan club, he says. Because he's like tangled up in the gears of the fan.
Oh my god! And then Ash, he's starting to get his ass kicked until Kelly and Pablo show up, and they just happen to have the chainsaw and the shotgun. We get another one of those cool moments where they chuck the chainsaw and he just cracks the hand off, sticks it out, and immediately locks in the chainsaw. Kelly throws a shotgun, he grabs that, and he just standing there like a badass. Like, Ash is just the coolest motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you never seen a guy with a chainsaw for a hand before?
and he just takes care of business. He fucking chops Amanda's boss in half, or slices his gut open, blows his head off. We get one of those like circus tricks where like the boss's head's blown off and Ash comes up behind him with the perspective. Looks like it's Ash's head on his body. Kelly decides to take on Nancy and just releases that revenge, anger on her. Because we find out also in the trailer earlier on that Kelly's kind of like consumed with vengeance. Like she wants the Necronomicon around because she enjoys killing deadites out of vengeance.
Basically, I mean, she denies it, but yeah, I mean, pretty much.
She's just out for revenge, and it's like her way of like, I guess, exercising vengeance is just to kill deadites over and over and over. So she just has her way with Nancy. Like,
and the meat slicer,
and the tenderizer, mallet, just beats the shit out of that Nancy, like obliterates her. And like Ash looks over at Pablo and says, "She needed this. She needed this." So the massacre of Western Moose seems to be done, but in the midst of all this, Lim escaped out the back door when shit started going wild. He got out of there. He was smart enough to know like not to stick around, and he's on his way back through the creepy woods. Calls the militia, tells them like, they need to arm up.
You're not gonna believe this shit.
I'm gonna believe this shit. It's time to arm up. It's end of the world, because I assume it's like a doomsday militia kind of thing. And the evil is in pursuit and gets him, for what we see. Evil gets him, and as Ash and Pablo and Kelly are leaving the Western Moose, we see Amanda, finally realize that Ash is not the bad guy.
About time.
But it's just crazy. She just no-sells everything that happened at the beginning of the episode. Like the hand, Ruby getting killed, the skeleton thing, she like just no-sells all of it. And but she decides that she's gonna pair up with Ash.
I think maybe she was consumed by revenge too.
Yeah, true. And she sees that her revenge was misplaced, so she decides she's going to join the gang,
the Ghost Beaters.
The Ghost Beaters now a quintet, or was that quintet or is that five?
I think. Hell if I know.
There's 4 of them. So they decide they're a quartet. It's a quartet. Quintet's 5. A quartet. So the Ghostbusters are going to go, and they're going to go to the cabin, and they're going to fight deadites.
But first, there's someplace they got to stop.
Yeah. They need some supplies. We can tell.
They got to gas up the chainsaw.
Yes. So that was it. That was The Killer of Killers. Probably one of my favorite episodes so far.
Yeah.
After El Jefe. I'll say El Jefe, the first episode, that's my favorite one. This right here is second, because this is a badass episode.
It's a great episode. A lot of
shit packed in it. This is the second episode where they've like just crammed shit in it. There's not even dead space.
Like most of everything happens in like one location too.
Yeah. Let's talk more about that in the quality of Campbell's segment. But first, let's talk about Patreon. You can join our Groovy tier now for only $3, which includes monthly bonus episodes, early access to all Cult Talk Net podcasts, full-length audio watch-alongs, and access to our private Cult Talk Net Facebook community. Or you can join our Certified Groovy tier, now only $5 a month, which includes an additional Certified Groovy bonus episode, early recorded beta test podcast episodes on non-Campbell movies. That is patreon.com/culttalknet.
For our Groovy tier in the month of July, the bonus episode that you get to enjoy is Cult Talks Gone Wild. The bonus episode where you get to know the cultists like never before, where we completely uncensor ourselves and we talk about whatever the fuck comes out of our mouths, be it movies, culture, ideas, and so much more. You get all this for only $3 a month.
And for the month of July, under the $5 Certified Groovy tier, you will get to hear as we discuss the 1995 would-be blockbuster, Congo, starring Tim Curry, Ernie Hudson, and of course, the one, the only, Bruce Campbell. All this for only $5 under the Certified Groovy tier.
And now, back to the show.
Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
23 minutes, and there is just so I know we missed stuff
Yes, definitely.
because there's just so much packed into this that it's crazy. That's one of the things I'm really noticing about this show. You know, this is my third time watching this season through, and I'm really noticing this time the amount of content they squeeze in the 23 minutes. There's not any like dead space. There's not any like we had the Brujo, which I feel like was kind of a filler episode, but even that episode, there was so much jammed into it.
Oh yeah, there towards the end there was just a lot. It was like dumping it down your throat, getting you ready for the next episode.
Yeah. And this episode right here, there's just a ton of stuff. Like it opens up in a big way with Ruby getting obliterated or taken away or whatever.
Right.
And then it goes right into this big sequence at the Western Moose with just gore and deadites and
pancake cutting.
And we just keep seeing the progression of these characters. Even Pablo gets a pretty badass moment in this where he like just takes a gun and like slides.
He kind of chokes a little bit, but yeah,
but he gets it. Like
he misses the headshot there at the end.
Yep,
at the end of his slide.
But he's just being a badass. He's developing.
Yeah,
we're getting to see that revenge kind of taking over Kelly. Amanda's finally having a change of heart, seeing things the way they are. There's a lot in this. So I think out of this, I'm going to give this episode a solid, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 fans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
5 out of 5 fans.
5 out of 5 fans.
That's good. Good.
I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes.
I really enjoyed it too. Like you said, a lot of information, a lot of action, a lot of great, awesome
development.
kills.
We see something gets set up for later episodes with Lim and the militia. I'm interested to see where they're going to go. Like, it's a whole thing. Great episode. What about you?
Yeah, I want to give it a 5 out of 5 tennis rackets.
5 out of 5 tennis rackets. There we go. So this is a solid 5 out of 5 from both of us.
This is a great episode.
I love this episode. Like I said, El Jefe and then Killer of Killers for me. Like that's how I would rate these episodes because this is just a blast. I'm glad I got to review this episode. But I think that's all we can really say about Killer of Killers. I know we didn't do it justice because there's so much in this episode.
Definitely, yeah.
Like you've got to watch this episode. Like this is one of the like prime episodes of season 1. That being said, I want to hear what you guys think of the Killer of Killers. I want to see what you guys rate it out of 5. You can let us know on our YouTube and our Instagram at Cult Talk Net across both. And go over and check out our Patreon at Cult Talk Net, where you'll find some bonus episodes, some early beta episodes, and I know Ursa's favorite thing, the watch-alongs.
Yeah, the watch-alongs. You guys will really love the watch-alongs. If you like the idea of hanging out with friends and just ripping on shit, you'll love the watch-alongs.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just watched a movie, whatever we review, anything we review on here, even Ash vs. Evil Dead, all the films that we've done. We do a watch along for all those where we just grab a microphone and we just sit there and watch the movie. And you guys can do that with us. You can just turn on the movie, sync it up, and you can watch the movie with the Cult of Campbell. So do that over on our Patreon at Cult Talk Net. We love to have you guys over there so we can interact and grow our community a little more. But until next time, I think it's time to just let everyone know, stay groovy.
Yeah, stay groovy, guys.
Hail to the king, baby. best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.